Hello everyone. Since we are on a network configuration part of the Linux, we'll talk about NIC bonding. What exactly the NIC bonding is. Just to let you know, NIC bonding is one of the very important and critical aspect in Linux network configuration, and this type of questions are asked oftentimes in an interview. So let's see a NIC. A NIC stands for Network Interface Card that is attaches to your computer. So if you look at your laptop or behind your PC, you will see a little port in there, and that port is your NIC. With NIC, which is Network Interface Card, bonding is also known as network bonding. It can be defined as the aggregation or combination of multiple NIC into a single bond interface. Its main purpose is to provide high availability and redundancy. So let's look at our picture. We have this 4 NIC cards on our computer. So what we do in NIC bonding is we take 2 ports, we combine them together, and the reason we combine them because what if one port dies? We still have another port. So this is for the redundancy. So another way to make 2 ports redundant or to have them high availability is you combine them together. If a port is 1 gig and the other port is 1 gig, you combine them together to aggregate them and get the throughput of 2 gig. This is achieved for high availability and link aggregation. So NIC bonding procedure is that you type mod prob bonding, which is to get the configuration of your driver, info bonding to get the information of your bonding. Then you create a file called ifconfig bond 0. You added the first Ethernet 1, you added the second Ethernet, and you combine them and point to bond 0. If you have NIC 1 file, you create another NIC 2 file for the second NIC, and then you create a third file called bond 0. You point your NIC 1 and NIC 2 files toward bond 0. And then what do? At the end, you restart the network of your computer. So the command is systemctl restart network. So without further ado, I will log into my system and I'll tell you exactly how NIC bonding can be done. And before we start this VirtualBox, I want you to take its snapshot. The reason I'm taking a snapshot is so we could revert back to its state, which is where it is right now after we do all the configuration. So click on right here, you see snapshot, click on snapshot, and right here says take, click on the take, leave the snapshot number 1 as the name default and click OK. Now it has taken the snapshot. Now I want you to click on setting, go to network, click on network adapter 2, check enable network adapter and select bridged adapter. Now we will have 2 NICs on our computer, which is one here, adapter 1 and adapter 2. If you want more adapters, we could go to adapter 3 and 4 and check on enable network adapter, but we will work only adapter 1 and adapter 2 at this time. And I want you to click OK. So once the setting is done, go ahead and click on start. Go ahead and log in as yourself. Okay, when you have the desktop, right click on your desktop and open up your terminal. I would like to make the console, the terminal, a little bigger. Okay, go ahead and type ifconfig and do more on the output, and here you will see now we have 2 network interfaces. One is ENP0S3 and the second one is ENP0S8. ENP0S8 is the one that we just added to our Oracle VirtualBox. Now what we want to do is we want to combine these 2, 3 and 8 together and make a bond out of these 2 interfaces. Become root first. Okay, let's clear the screen. Now I will open up a document that I have that has all the commands and configuration in my document. This document is also added as part of your handouts. So before you do this exercise, I want you to also open up this document from your handouts, have it side by side while you do the configuration of bonding. So I have already opened this document. Okay, so now it says just follow the directions. It says add a new NIC if it does not exist. Install bonding driver, mod prob in bonding. You would need to install this if you don't have bonding enabled. But let's say if you do have it or not. So do mod info bonding, and I want you to do more on it. And once you do more, and if you get the output and description says Ethernet channel bonding driver version 3.7.1, that means you already have the driver installed, which is the mod probe in Linux, so you don't have to worry about installing it. So you can move on to the next step. Okay, the next step is to create a new file called icfg-bond0 right here, and I have to create this file in this directory, in this path. So if I copy and paste, it's not gonna work, so I have to type it. So I go back into our machine and I'll do vi etc sysconfig network scripts cfg-bond0. Now you are in VI mode. Hit I to insert, and I want you to start typing exactly what's just written in there. Please make sure, don't make a mistake. Type is bond. Name of this bond is bond0. Bonding master, meaning who's the master of this bonding, it's itself, so yes. So boot proto. So when you type none or static, it means the same thing. So we'll type none. On boot, yes. IP address. I'm sorry, there's a little mistake. It should be just IP ADDR. The IP that I have picked is 192.168.1.80 because I have already typed this IP before and I know this IP does not exist. Nobody has taken it. But if you wanted to confirm if this IP is not taken, you could just go into, you could open up another terminal and do ping 192.168.1.80, and you will see you are not getting a response back on that IP. So it means it's not taken. So I'll use IP. I'm assigning the static IP. Netmask 255.255.255.0. Gateway. Gateway is the IP address of your modem. And then bonding underscore options equal mode 5. I'm picking mode 5, and what exactly mod 5 is, or mon is, this is the speed and the state. I have also included that in my document exactly what these options mean, and I want you to review them and you will know exactly what it means. So now you could just save and exit the file. Okay, once you have that, it says the bonding options detail can be found here. You see right here it has all the options. We picked, if you remember, we picked option 5, which is transmit load balancing. You could read about it. And then MIIMON, which is the monitoring, MII link monitoring frequency in milliseconds, we picked 100. Okay, so next step is, it says edit the first NIC file, which is enp0s3. So I am in root directory. I'll go into etc sysconfig. I'll just drag this a little more so you can see it a little better. Sysconfig cd network scripts, and in this directory I already have a file called etccfg enp0s3. Do vi, and now I have here, I said delete the entire content. So how do you delete it? In the vi you do dd 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 dd, keep doing dd 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 until you go to the bottom. You are at the bottom and it says no lines in buffer. That's good. Now hit enter. Sorry, not enter. Hit insert. You probably have to hit insert a couple of times to get it. So now keep typing what exactly it's in there. So type Ethernet boot proto none device enp0s3 on boot. Yes, you want to have that boot hardware address. This is a new one. Now this is the MAC address of your enp0s3. So what is my hardware MAC address? You have to open up another terminal in the back, drag it, and then just type ifconfig and do more, and you will see enp0s3 has a MAC address of this. So what I will do is I'll drag this a little bit on top. I'll bring the other window in the back, and now I could type the address 080027C3 0E 28 verified 27C3028. yes, and then hit enter. Master, it's asking you who's your master. The master is bond0, which is the other file that we created before that. Hit enter. Slave, are you a slave? Meaning this interface, is it a slave? We'll say yes. So check again, boot proto, boot, oh, we missed one. Oh no, we did not, it's there. Type boot proto device on boot hardware address, which is a MAC address. Master is bond0 and slave is this. Okay, now save and exit. Okay, now follow the directions. Okay, now it says create the second NIC file for enp0s8. I could create a second one, or I could just copy this enp0s3 and change the name and MAC address. So it would be easier. I could just copy enp0s3 and I name it cfg dash enp0s3 and take out, replace 3 with 8. Now it's copied. Now vi cfg enp0s8. Now in 0s8, now you have to change this third line. It says device 0s3 with 8. Yes, yes, and now the MAC address will be different. Go back to your other command that is open, drag it up, and you will see here the MAC address for enp0s8 is this one. So once you have it highlighted, drag it down so you could see it, and now change it. It is changed after the 3 octets. So 0D 17 9B. Okay, bond0 master is the bond0 slave. Yes, I am a slave for bond0. Then right quit and save the file. The file is saved. Now I want to restart the service. System CTL restart the network service. So network restart. Hit enter by running ifconfig. Do the more on it, and you'll see now the IP that I have assigned, or says right here 192.168.1.80. It's master, and the other ports, sorry, other NICs, ENP0, S3 and S8, you'll see here, right here it says these are slave and slave. So IP assigned is given 192.161.80. I'm going to take this IP, plug it into my PuTTY session, and see if I could connect to it. 192.168.1.80. Hit enter. Yes, I could connect. This is just a SSH key warning sign. You could just accept it to save it and log in. And yes, there you go. So now you know that your interface is combined together to and pointing it to bond 0. Any other instructions that we have, we could go down. We could also see here it's telling me that I could verify the setting by doing cat etc proc nec bonding and bond 0. When I do that, I should not have, okay, let me make this bigger. And now you'll see here when I did the cat, you see it says currently active slave is this one. It is load balancing. Slave interface is this, and second slave interface is this. Now once it is done, I want you to revert back to your original VM. So just close it, power it off, close, and it says power off the machine. You power it off. Now go to your Oracle virtual machine right here, and first wait for it to power off, then go to setting, and then come to network, go to network adapter 2, uncheck the one we checked before, click OK. Now it should not have the second adapter, but I want you to click now to the snapshot 1 and click on restore. Now this is going to restore to the original state where we had it before. Here it will create another snapshot of your current state, which I don't want you to do, so uncheck this box and click restore. Now it is restored to exactly same way where it was before we started this lesson. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and please try it on. This is one of the topic that's very important. You will be working on a physical machines most of the time when you have to do network bonding.